Thank you for joining us on Pachter Factor, my fellow babies, on SIFTD.net. If you're a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber, we are getting paid. Thank you very much. Another easy way to make sure that Shane gets to cover his expenses for producing this show, try to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, and we get paid. The instructions are right there in the show description below. Super easy to do, so please do that. If you or your family members have an Amazon Prime account, super easy to do. If you don't do any of those things, you're watching on YouTube a week late. That's the price you have to pay for not having any money, but that's okay. Save up. It's $2 a month on Patreon. I'm sure you can afford it. From Sifted, today's question from Damp Towel Man. It seems like remasters, remakes, and re-releases are more popular than ever based on recent output and critical reception. The most expensive tier of PS Plus includes classics and remasters. Is this Sony's way of seeing if there's demand for its older franchises like Ape Escape or Killzone? How long is too long to wait to revive a franchise? Is a once successful franchise ever truly dead? I don't know why Sony includes classics and remasters in PS Plus. I would imagine it's because they're trying to provide value. So I think that's fair. And I think it is a very clear indicator if they're popular on PS Plus that they'll be popular if they issue them as standalone. But I don't think that's why they do it. I think that they have to make the decision to remaster. They're making the decision based on their assessment of how it will sell. As far as, how long is too long to wait, there's value to a sequel and there's value to a remaster if the original player is still around and has nostalgia and wants to play it. But if you go too long, like, when was the last Midnight Club? Answer, 2009. It's been 14 years. Is the franchise dead? Maybe. When was the last Medal of Honor? I want to say 2002.
They just put out a VR one like a year and a half ago.
And nobody bought it. Right. So do you miss Medal of Honor? Well, if you're 35 and you played it when you were 15, yes. If you're under 35 and you never played it, you don't even know it exists. So the brand equity erodes each year that you don't bring something out. It's different for Grand Theft Auto, which came out 10 years ago, because they sold 20 million units a year, from 2016 to 2022. So plenty of people bought it in 2022, and they still know what GTA is. And you had GTA Online keeping the brand alive. So the GTA sequel or remaster would make tons of money. But if you let a brand go stale, and we could argue that happened with Fallout. I mean, Fallout, hasn't come out in about 10 years. You could argue that happened with Diablo, but there's a lot of demand for it. They kept the demand up by hyping the game, creating Diablo Immortal, coming up with expansions to the old game and kind of keeping the audience engaged. So 10 years is about, I'd say, the limit of how long you can wait before you really lose so much brand equity that the audience has aged out and they don't care anymore. And so I think it's just healthy to revive franchises every 10 years or sooner. I think that the right time for sequels and new versions is 5. And I think that remasters anytime between 8 and 10 years makes sense. Now, Dead Space, I want to say that was a 2009 game. That worked. They brought out Dead Space Remaster. It was such a good game that it got really great critical acclaim when the remaster came out, because the game reviewers all either played the original or they were new and just were blown away how good it is and fun it is. But that's the rare one. I'd say the smarter thing is to take a very popular brand, Breath of the Wild, and remaster it for the Switch 2 when that comes out. Or, take an Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4 and remaster it for the PS4 and the PS5 when they come out. And that's kind of what they do. So reselling the same series to the new console owner, I think, makes sense. But 10 years is the answer. How long is too long? 10 years. If you let a brand go 10 years, the franchise is starting to die. And if you go 15, it is dead. So, Bully, 2007. How much brand equity does Bully have? Are you waiting for Bully 2? I doubt it. Manhunt, 2008. Great game. Are you waiting for Manhunt 3? I think they made it 2. I can't remember. But are you waiting for that? No, because you don't even know anybody who played it, except me and Shane. So I think that Rockstar it does itself a disservice letting some of its old franchises die. I think I really heard L.A. Noire was a great game. What was that, 2010? I think 10 or 11. Max Payne, 2012. We're getting too old, too long in the tooth for those franchises. Now, Max Payne had a movie in between, so maybe you can pull it off. But the loyalty factor, because Max Payne 1, I think, was 2001. You just can't go that long. BioShock is getting long in the tooth, but it's coming. And I think that there will be demand for it. But you really have trouble with those games that take 10 years between sequels. It's really hard. So the answer is I would remaster any title that you're planning a sequel just to keep it fresh and get that audience. And it's sort of like I said in an earlier episode, it's like watch John Wick 1, 2, and 3 before you see 4. And 4 will make more sense. It's fun to replay the last, game before the new sequel comes out. Because you kind of know, I'd play Breath of the Wild before I started Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's fun. So, how long is too long? 10 years. No, I don't think that the subscriber count for the premium tier is that big. 5 million people maybe. I mean, it's a big test market, but those people play everything. They're going to remaster the games that sold really well the first time. Like I said, Uncharted and Last of Us, that's easy. But Ratchet and Clank, I mean, they can remaster stuff that people really liked and they know what sold. But they had plenty of data the first go around. They don't need to see how the remaster does. They will see with that audience if the remaster has big bugs and people bitch and moan, sure, and they'll fix it. But short of that, no. I mean, that's like saying, should there be another Avatar movie? We know that there's going to be one because this one was so popular. You don't need to test it. It's going to be really big, the next one. So, and there will be one.
But if a lot of people play Ape Escape, that's not going to say to them, maybe we should make a new Ape Escape.
No, because a lot of people won't, because the old PS1 games are not that there's not millions of people playing them. There's 100,000 people playing them. It's just like the PC question. I mean, there's a million different choices. And so people aren't going to, all flock to one title. I suppose it's conceivable that that there will be a Super Busta Move available, on PlayStation Plus, and it'll just hit a nerve and 5 million people play and they'll go, oh, let's remaster that. But that's going to be the exception. That's not going to happen very often. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net, and to our Patreon patrons and our YouTube subscribers and our Twitch Prime members who managed to figure out how to link their Amazon Prime account, instructions below. Thank you, because we're getting paid and Shane can afford to continue to come out here and make these things. If you are neither a Patreon nor YouTube subscriber and you are too lame or don't have Amazon Prime, too lame to figure out how to link it, please follow me on Twitter as Penance for Your Sins at Michael Pachter. You're watching on YouTube a week late, but let me know on Twitter that I shamed you into it, and I will give you a shout out. Thank you for following me, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.